practicing or something.
6:30.
There he is.
Hey, Gina's a headset.
Let me see if I can get Marnie's attention.
Rabbi's muted.
We probably all need to mute right now.
There we go.
Namana, nama, 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 nama. Namana, namana. Namana, nama, 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 nama. Or Zarua Latzadik Ul Yisraelev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Ul Yisraelev Simcha. Bam bam bidi dum bam bidi dum bam bidi 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 bam bidi. Now namana 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 nama 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 or Zarua Latzadi Ul Yisraelev Simcha. To me, the words Or Zarua Latzadik Ul Yisraelev Simcha, which mean light is sown for the righteous and happiness for the upright of heart, is kind of like a message of karma in Jewish language. Kind of like you sow what you reap. Kind of like you find goodness if you've put goodness into it. It doesn't always work out like that, but the more goodness and light we sow into the world, the more we receive. And I am tremendously grateful to the Shema Kolenu community for your forgiveness, because I had forgotten till about halfway through the song to unmute us. So they were trying to get a message to me, and Holly was calling me. And so, all good? Everybody, just let me know. Hopefully you're all good. Yeah, this is a strange way to be a rabbi these days, but it's just sort of what we do. All right, we're going to continue in the prayer book with Lechu Neranana, which you can find on page 2. Lechu Neranana, yai lai 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 lai, Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Naria, yai lai 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 lai, Letzuri sheinu, yai lai 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 lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechu neranena, yai lai 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 lai, la Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Naria, yai lai 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 lai, Letzur Ishenu, yai lai 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 lai. For all of the wonders and all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechu neranena. Everybody, lai lai, lai 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 lai, la Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Naria, yai lai 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 lai, Letzur Ishenu, yai lai 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 lai, lai la lai la lai, lai la lai lai lai. At this time, I'd like to call up Marnie and Lynn and Stacy and Rachel and Nicole to lead us in the lighting of the Shabbat candles. And Danielle. And we continue on page 4 with Lachadoti. Yalla la 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 Lachadoti. Yalla la 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 Likrat Kala. Yalla la 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 Pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha yishmiyanu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litchilah. Yalla lai, yalla la la lai lachadodi, yalla la la lai likrat kala, yalla la la lai pnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem tzorech utzura sof maaseh machshava techila. Yalla lai lachadodi, yalla la la lai likrat kala, yalla la la lai pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Bottom of page 5. Now, I invite you all to rise, to stand up, please, and to look towards the back doors, because that's where you came from. And that's where these messengers, these Malachei Hasharet, these angels of Shabbat, enter. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uvtzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, yalalai, yalalalai lachanuni, yalalai likrat kala, yalalai b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. I invite you to turn back this way. And you and everybody that stay standing, but everybody who's on Zoom and you have a job now, and that is to say, when I point to you, to say the words, "This is an amazing life." So let's practice. Right, that was not believable. Right, that was like, "This is an amazing life." Like, it's not so amazing. Come on. That's much better. And you can do better, by the way. This is an amazing life, a gift of moments, precious and dear, profound in joy, profound in sorrow. A gift of moments, glorious and holy, rich in laughter, rich with tears. It's getting better. A gift, a song, a fantastic story of solitude and adventure, a tale of darkness and light, a psalm of frailty and endurance, a poem written in time and motion, in stillness and silence, in shouts and whispers, in mourning and wondrous celebration. This is an amazing life, a year of blessings, a gift to cherish. In awe and wonder, blessed are the gifts of life. Blessed is the giver of life. Blessed is this amazing life. We continue with Baruch. Page 6. Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, la lai lai lai, la la lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, la lai lai lai, la lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. This version that we're going to sing together of Marif Aravim, the blessing of evening, of how evening comes and descends upon us, which is called Roll Into Dark. It just always reminds me, it makes me sentimental about my children, about how they have grown, about how they used to be little and now they are big. I'm sure that you can see that as well. It's just incredible. I mean, when I'm looking at mine, they're 23 and 19, and I just have no idea how that happens. And yet I completely know how that happens. So this is a piece that just reminds me of the way days come and go. We grow, we are challenged, we overcome those challenges, and then, we look back and think like, oh yeah, that was difficult, or it was a blip in the radar, and we move forward. Page 8. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. In just a minute or so, Rachel is going to chant for us the Haftarah. So I'm going to invite her to come on up. I have it here. Invite us all to focus on the unity of this moment. Rachel is a bat mitzvah unto herself. And yet, Rachel, you are part of thousands of generations of Jewish boys and girls, of Jewish children who have stepped into the covenant. And so we recognize that unity in this moment. We continue on page 9 with Shema. You see? You do Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. We continue on page 10.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך כיום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאור על ידך, וחיו לטוטפו בעיניך. uktavam amazizot beitecha uvisharecha lemon tiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohim ani Adonai Elohim asher hotzetziethem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim ani Adonai Elohim.
Beautiful. Perfect. Yeah, you guys did. At Shema Kolenu, we always, before Michamocha, we invite simchas, good newses, as that's the way I translate it. Good news, things in your life that you feel grateful for, that you feel blessed by. This is a funny thing. So I'm going to let the Zoom folks share with each other. Well, actually, they're up there. But I'm going to let the Zoom folks share with each other. Martin, you might want to change that to the gallery view so that you can see everybody else too. These are the things we say during pandemic Shabbat. Anyway, but are there anybody who would like to share a good thing that's happened for them in the past week? Pastor Martin? Yep. We're here. Exactly. And I'm sure that given the pandemic, you weren't at all totally sure whether you were going to make it, right? Whether you were going to be able to be here, whether you'd be able to be together, right? I'm sure Marnie and Dave have lost lots of nights of sleep of what is this going to look like, right? How's this going to work? But thank God you are here. Anybody else? A simcha, something you're happy about? Happy to be here. Yeah. She's talking.
I have a simcha.
Anybody else?
Hi, I got my first shot today.
Yes, we are.
I'm
To all of those on Zoom, I hope that you'll be sharing with each other via chat. This is the challenge. I can't see the chat, so I'm sure that everybody else can see the chat, and you're wishing each other wonderful things and joy. And I think we're going to continue with Mi Chamoch. It's on page 13, by the way. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh Fele Nora tehilot oseh Fele Adonai Imloch leolam va'ed. Don't be shy, sing it. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Now when I sing Nora, you sing Tehillah. Nora, say Fela. Nora, say Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Please rise. We continue on page 15 with the Amidah. Adonai Sfatai tiftas Adonai Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha Adonai Svatay Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatay Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasei Avot V'Imahot ומביא גאולה לפני פניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר מושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. נאמנת על החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. At this time, we turn our thoughts and our prayers towards those in need of healing. By the way, this is on page 23. This particular year has been a year just inundated with prayers of Mishabela, prayers for healing and wholeness. Individuals, families, communities, our country, and the world have all been suffering, struggling with this pandemic. And God willing, we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. But in the meantime, and for a while, will continue to be great needs for prayers for healing and wholeness. I invite those of you who are on Zoom to share the names of people you are thinking of in the chat. And if there anyone here present who'd like to mention the name aloud of someone for whom you are praying for healing. Rachel? You pray for his healing. For all those we know and all those we don't, who need healing and wholeness, continue with Misha Beirach on page 23. May the source of strength, who Aleinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Hallelujah. 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 So I have a few announcements for us, mostly for the Zoom community, those who are Shabbat community, but y'all can listen as well. Tomorrow morning, first of all, as you all know, and as most of you know, tomorrow morning Rachel Schwartz will be coming bat mitzvah at 10:30. And those of you who are online, if you would like to participate or join the Zoom broadcast, you are still able to do that. Just send an email to Holly, and she will add your email to to receive the link. We continue with 10 at noon, which is a 10 to 12 minute midday prayer online via Zoom that is Mondays and Fridays that will continue into next week and the week after. I actually will be out of town for the next 2 Shabbats, and I'm happy to say that Rabbi Laura Scheinkopf will be taking my place this Friday, the following Friday, and Andrew Goldstein will be doing music next Friday, and Rabbi Scheinkopf will be covering the music herself the following Friday. Kosher Pretzel has been moved to Sunday, March 21st at 11 a.m. So instead of being on Shabbat this month, it's going to be on Sunday. Also, later that day, CSK Women are having a guest speaker, Nina Hill, who will speak about genealogy, and that will be via Zoom, as well as the Kosher Pretzel. And then we have a big announcement. We've been announcing it already. On March 27th and 28th. March 27th is the first night of Passover. March 28th is obviously the second night of Passover. And March 27th, so we have a bunch of different things you can sign up for to receive our video this year that includes it's a video that's like an instructional video that will lead you all the way through with music, all the different parts of the Seder. It's colorful, it's interesting, it's fun. And this year we have an addition, which is a Passover parody opera. It's a story of Passover set to opera. It's only about 10, 12 minutes, but it is being done by Hannah Madeline Goodman and others that she has pulled in to do this performance. It'll be a recorded video. Sunday morning, the 28th at 10:30, we will be having our family Seder as part of Journey, and that will be our all-star musical Passover Seder done by Rick Recht. And then Sunday night, Rabbi Steve Gross and I and the congregations of HCRJ and Shema Kulenu will be combining forces to do a live Zoom Seder. So lots and lots and lots coming up. And last but not least, you can also sign up to receive homemade gefilte fish by this rabbi. Everyone loves this gefilte fish, and so we're going to make it available to anyone who would like to pick it up on a particular day, particular time. You can bring it home and have it for you. I know the kids are very excited about the gefilte fish. Right, Rachel? Not so much. Okay. I did not eat gefilte fish when I was your age either. I can promise you that. So as I mentioned just now, Passover is coming up. Purim has passed, and we have a few weeks hence for Passover, a little more than 3 weeks. And there's always a build-up towards Passover. Some people get very, very intensively focused on cleaning their homes for Passover, getting rid of all the chametz, getting rid of all the bread products and anything that isn't kosher for Passover. And others get really busy with who are we going to have over, or where are we going to be, or if I'm going to be leading the Seder, what am I going to be doing, and can I find something interesting online to share and make the Seder interesting and exciting. And some of us want the Seder exactly the way it's been for 50 years. The exact way, even down to the Maxwell House Haggadahs that many Jewish families have in a cabinet somewhere in their homes with stains on them from Grandma Sophie and Grandpa Irving that they cannot possibly throw away because they're so sacred, because they spilled on them. And now they're gone, but the Haggadahs are still here. Passover is this really beloved holiday and beloved tradition for so many Jewish families. It's a holiday when we know we are meant to open our doors and welcome people in. It's a holiday when we want to make sure that not just Jewish people are at our Seder, but non-Jewish people are at our Seder too. Because we want them to understand the essences of Passover. And most people, Passover is just a great gastronomic holiday. It's just so good and delicious, but at the same time, we got to make sure that we, keep the pipes running as well, because that matzah stuff can get a little bit challenging, to the digestion. So that's so we have to make sure to do that. Lots of good amounts of dried fruit. Anyway, so what we don't often focus on Passover is some of the action that took place before we start the story of Passover, but without which it couldn't have happened. There's a saying in the Talmud that it is because of the merit of the women of the Exodus that Israel is redeemed from Egypt. Now, who are these women? And you're going to find that these women aren't just Jewish women. They're also women who are not Jewish. I mean, look, the truth is back then, we didn't have Jews anyway. All we had Israelites. We had people who were part of the Israelite people. Judaism, the term Judaism comes later. I'll tell you about that another time. But in Jewish tradition, women during the Exodus are recognized as really the superheroes, without whom the story doesn't happen. You know that story about the golden calf, Rachel, right? You remember how it says that Aaron receives all that jewelry, right? The gold to put in to then make that is, it says, you know what? It wasn't women who gave the jewelry. They imagined that the men just sort of took the jewelry from the women and gave it. And because of that, that is why, according to tradition, women were given the holiday of Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the Hebrew month, because they were not duplicitous in this act of the golden calf. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. So we first have Yocheved. Think about Yocheved. Yocheved, does everyone know Yocheved who she was? Who knows? Who was Yocheved? Let me ask you this question. What is Jesus' mother's name? Yes. What is Moses' mother's name? Yocheved. This is something we have to fix. It's fine that we know Jesus' mother's name, but we really should know Moses' mother's name, don't you think? So her name was Yocheved. Yocheved had this baby, and she hears the decree from the Pharaoh that all the firstborn Israelite sons have to be killed. And what does she do? She puts him into a basket, and she really just sends him off. Now, she sends her daughter Miriam to watch, but she doesn't know who's going to find him. And so Miriam watches, tries to guard over her little baby brother. But can you imagine what it would be like to be a mother who has no choice? And yet she puts her baby in this act of faith alone sets forth all of the drama that is to come. For without Moses, we don't have the story. Then Miriam, of course, Miriam, we know, leads the Jewish people through the desert. She shows them where the spring wells of water are. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Who finds Moses? Who takes pity on this? She knows it's an Israelite baby. It's the daughter of Pharaoh. And that's all it says, the daughter of Pharaoh. But she pulls this baby from the water. And an interesting thing happens, which I'm going to tell you in a moment. But first, she's recognized as so worthy of note. I mean, such a beautiful character that the rabbis of old give her a name. All she was known by in the Torah was the daughter of Pharaoh. But she's given a name, and the name is Batya. Batya, which literally means daughter of God. Why? Because she was responsible not only for saving this baby, but how does Moses know that he's an Israelite? We know that the Torah says that he knows he's an Israelite, but how would he know? We can only know if it was Batya, his mother, his adopted mother, who tells him, who makes sure, she makes sure, which can't have been very safe, can't have been very, had to have been a bit challenging. And here, she makes sure that Moshe, that Moses, the leader of the Jewish people, the great prophet of the Jewish people, she plants in him, you are an Israelite. Then, who does Moses marry? Moses marries Zipporah. Zipporah, whose father is the priest of Midian. Does anybody ever, it's been in the midst of all these arguments about the legitimacy of intermarriage and whether Jews can marry people who aren't Jewish and all that, does anybody pay any attention to the fact that Moses' wife was a Midianite? And their children are circumcised and considered Jewish? Nobody has a problem with that at all. Now, how do they get circumcised? Well, how does one of them get circumcised? Anybody know? Zipporah. Zipporah, in the Torah, not Midrash, not added interpretation. The Torah teaches us that it was Zipporah, the not Israelite mother of Moses' sons. She performs the circumcision. Isn't that amazing? So here we have the story of the story of Passover that begins generally with what? God telling Moses to go tell Pharaoh to what? Let my people go, right? My people be free, right? It starts, but there's all this backstory. And what is the backstory? It's women who are standing up for and protecting others, and without whom they wouldn't have been protected. They wouldn't have been safe. And not only are they women, but they're not Israelite women. Now, this really shouldn't be so surprising, because who comes out of Egypt? When Moses leads the Israelites out of Egypt, what is this group called? It's called an Erev Rav, which in Hebrew means a mixed multitude. That the idea here is the Torah embraces a real universalistic understanding of what it means to be free and what it means to be part of the Jewish people. It's not about your birth. It's not about your lineage, your genealogy. It's about, do you agree that people should not be enslaved? Do you agree that this is our job as human beings? And isn't it beautiful to remind ourselves that while often, as truth is, as often as it is that women have not played a vocal role in the development of Judaism over thousands of years, they do now. Isn't it something to behold that this story clearly shows us that without these women stepping in, standing up, standing for, there is no story of the Exodus. There is no Moses. There is no future of the Jewish people. So I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention tonight, because I think it's something worth bringing to your Seder, whether it's live or on Zoom, to start the story a little bit earlier and remind yourselves of these heroines without whom the story doesn't take place. Shabbat Shalom. We continue. I invite you all to please rise as we turn to page 24 for Our Lady. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גאולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשה לגבי הארצות, ולא שמנו את משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. At this time, we turn our prayers and our thoughts towards those in our families, in our lives who are no longer with us. This year in particular, we call to mind each Shabbat the now over 500,000 people who have lost their lives to COVID. All of those who are in our lives, whose memories are a blessing. I invite those of you on Zoom to write in the names into the chat. Are there names of people whom you would like to remember? Those of you who are here with me tonight, I'll just look towards you and you can mention their name. I invite you to please rise. We continue on page 26 with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yom echon v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael. V'adalav v'zman karev imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah v'varach le'olam umei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei v'kudsha brichu. Leila mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbichata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yesh lam rabba min shema, chayim alinu ve'achol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace upon us, upon all Israel and all the world. Let us all say. Before we're going to conclude with Oseh Shalom, right? Yeah. But I forgot to mention, this is the great Kelly Dean, who is going to be accompanying us tomorrow as well. But really glad to be in the same place at the same time with him. That's pretty cool too. And and I wanted to make a point of pointing out that thank you very much to Marnie and Dave for sponsoring our virtual Oneg. You guys can sponsor real Oneg at another point down the list. But virtual Oneg, and a special thanks to Joan Reichstein, who, for anybody who sponsors an Oneg, Joan makes these awesome Shabbat boxes, and each one is unique. No other one is any like any of the others. And she also bakes a challah and some other goodies. I don't know whatever else she put in there. But and she also made this challah cover, right? Yes, and the challah cover as well. And then she met with y'all, right? So Joan meets with the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah students and asks them about their interests, and then she makes a custom-made challah cover. Joan, we love you, and you make such a difference, and you really make things very, very special. So thank you to everybody joining us. Thank you to all of you who are here, and we're going to conclude with those who say shalom. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Amen. Now the yalla lies. Yalla la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kijam mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon imchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah Lemikra Kodesh, Zecher Letziat Mitzrayim, Ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, Beshabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Megadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to the bat mitzvah.
Shabbat Shalom to that mitzvah and everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Cynthia.
Shabbat Shalom.
Are you in Houston?
No.
Oh, okay. You're with Gus and his sister?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were all watching the translator, but tonight's music was brought by the great Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean, but the great Jelly Bean played for us tonight.
Yeah, that's what it is. Happy
Hi,
anniversary.
Sandy.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Jean.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good there.
Okay.
Scott.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Enjoy your.
Hi, Jean.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Cappy.
Hi, Cynthia.
Are you still going? Is Mr. Harris still going to that bakery? Cause he gonna put on some inches on the waist.
Once a month. It was fun.
Oh, once a month. Okay.
Happy.
Okay.
Cynthia.
Yes.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye.
Have a good week.
You
Janet.
too.
Have a good night.
Janet, Shabbat Shalom from
Shabbat
Jean.
Shalom, Jean. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you.